Okay, so my background is I used to work for the Learning and Skills Council, who were a government body that dealt with all the government funding that was towards workforce development and business support. So I was there from 2000 to 2004, and in that time I did my Investors in People qualification, which is basically like a degree in business development. Investors in People, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an international quality standard, and it's devised by all the big businesses. They get together, put together best practice, and then they put it into a quality standard. So it's quite like a rigorous thing for businesses to have to get, but I spent a lot of my time helping businesses to gain that qualification. Also, if you're in an industry where you're looking to get funding, or you want to build partnerships, or big partnerships actually, that's kind of one of the quality standards you need to get. The other one that most people know is ISO, but that's really paper driven, so depends on which way your business runs. Okay, so whilst I was with the Learning Skills Council, I had a bank of 40 clients every year, so I wasn't sitting around doing nothing. It was quite a heavy workload to have. But in 2004, the Learning Skills Councils were run when we were a Conservative government. In 2004, the Labour government came in and decided they didn't want to actually deliver any of the work anymore, so they were going to outsource it. So I could either stay put and become a contract manager, or I put my hand up and said I'd like to take redundancy and become one of the people that you outsource to. So that's what I did, and life was good because all my colleagues stayed and were the contract managers, and they knew that I could do the work, so I would get not all the contracts but a lot of the contracts, so it was good. So yes, I started off Kennedy Consultancy on my own, and in the very first few weeks I went to my accountant to set it up as a business. I didn't really know anything about how much money I was going to earn or anything like that. All I knew was I'd left a job that was £36,000 and I needed to earn at least that. I asked my colleagues who had gone self-employed before me who they used as an accountant, because to me that made sense to go to someone who looks after your industry. And when I walked in to see this accountant, one of his first questions to me was, so how much money are you going to earn in the first year? And I was like, I don't know how to answer that. And then he followed it up by answering it himself and said 60,000. So I thought, okay, that must be what everyone else is earning. So yeah, that's what I'm going to earn. So going back to kind of like having a plan. So that's when I set my plan for my business, that's my target that I give myself. And I know people don't think the same as me, but for me, what I envisaged was I wanted a particular car. I wanted the car that you might have known that I had as the courtesy car when mine got smashed. And at the time that car was £50,000. So I give myself a target of 5 years, going to have that car in 5 years. I remember my family saying, are you going to live in that car? I was like, no, but I want it. I probably would have lived in it. Right, okay, so the support packages that I offer. So many people start businesses because they are an expert in a product or a service, but don't actually know how to run a business. And I think, well, I don't know, you guys have all been running business for a while now, but I'm sure if you think back, it's kind of daunting at the beginning, because you don't realise that you all of a sudden have to become the accountant, the salesperson, the web designer, everything. So I did a lot of work with Enfield Enterprise Agency, and that was helping small strategic business planning, which is where you're going to be next year, or even the year after, and you have to start at the end and work your way backwards. So you've got to break it down into bite-sized chunks. So where do you want to be next year? Okay, so what do you have to do this month, next month, and so on. When you get to a stage where you're looking to employ people, that can be really tough at the moment because all the employment laws have changed. So you really need to make sure that you recruit the right people, because it's actually really, really difficult to get rid of them if you recruit the wrong ones. So making sure that you've got full job descriptions that explain exactly what it is you want someone to do, because although you know exactly what it is to go by and they can't tell what's in your mind, I think a lot of people employ people and think, oh, it's okay, they said they do admin, so they'll understand it. But you need to be specific. What does admin mean to you? Also, you need to have policies and procedures in place. There's all like legal HR stuff. Again, it's all to protect your business. It's not there for fun. It's, if you want to have a solid business, you have to have these things in place. And also with them, once you've recruited the people, how to manage them. One of my skills that I have is if you do actually recruit the wrong people, I can help you set up a system so that you can manage them to leave rather than having to sack them. So I said it's really difficult to sack people now. I can help you with contracts, job descriptions, induction programs, performance reviews, success planning. If you're looking for investors and funding, that's where the business plan side of it comes in, and any quality assurance. So, some of my clients, I've worked with a lot of the Mind charities, so I'm a bit of a charity specialist now. I started off with one of them, and then they kind of shared me around. Once I'd done a job for one, they were like, oh, go to the next branch. Because they're all independent businesses, but they're all under the big Mind branch. So I worked with Enfield Enterprise Agency, Business Link, Exemplars, London Brokerage. All of these guys down here, they are the agencies that the government give the money to, and then they have to allocate it out to different businesses to deliver. But I was lucky enough to be a partner with all of them, so when they had projects that I could bid for, I was one of their preferred suppliers. This one at the bottom, what is it? Yeah, Prevista. You might notice that none of these are around anymore because the government pulled all the funding, so they don't exist anymore. But my project with Prevista was one of my best ones. I put a bid in to run 12 Investors and People workshops, which was actually, it was 3 workshops, 4 times, so 4 cohorts, and to give one-to-one support to the 40 people that were on those workshops. All in all, it took up 60 days of my time, and the contract was £53,000. So, you know, I know that I've come into this kind of going to you guys. I'm now Kennedy Consultancy Services, not nothing local, but that is my background. I am qualified to do it. I haven't just gone on a workshop or something. Right, my biggest success, and I've told Jamie about this one, so I don't know if I remember. A company called Taylor James. Now, I met this guy through Prevista workshops that I was running. He ran a photographic retouching company in Old Street, and he had 7 staff. Now, when I went in to do the one-to-one mentoring with him, basically I heard him talking to his staff, and he was effing, and he was jeffing, and he was shouting, and he was screaming, and I was just like, whoa, you can't be doing that. You can't talk to people like that. And he said, but they're my friends. I was like, no, when they're in this building doing work, they're not your friends, they're your workforce. And if you carry on like that, you're going to end up losing everything. So we did some director coaching with this guy. He stopped talking to people like that. We put in processes in place so that he could actually manage the work they were doing and explain to them what they needed to do. And we basically turned his business around, did lots of things. I ended up working there 2 days a week, every week, as a consultant, but to help him restructure his business. And so he had 7 staff at that stage, and I said I was worried he was going to be shutting down very soon unless he changed his ways. But where is he today? He is still got an office in London, he's got an office in New York, he's got an office in LA, and he's got an office in Mexico. And I know that he employs 50 staff in London alone, and he's now gone global. But he's used all the processes that I helped him put in place to be able to do that. And I'm hoping that he might like me to go and help him out again. Mexico, yeah. New York. I'm seeing him in New York in June. So, yes. So that's the lovely testimonial that he gave me. 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So the reason I stopped everything and went into social media was because in 2008 I had a very serious accident, left me unable to work for 2 years. And this is where I go back to my plan about having the car. So when I was taken ill, I had saved £40,000 in the bank. So that helped me survive, basically. That's what I lived on. And if I hadn't ever had that plan of getting that car, I wouldn't have saved £40,000, just wouldn't have happened. So there wasn't, okay, I didn't get the car because that money's now gone, but it was worth doing it. And it obviously, I didn't even realise I had that money there until I needed it. So you know, it's really, if there's something you want to do with your business or in your life, it's good to have a plan to get you there. And oh yeah, sorry. So if you're serious about growing your business, or even having a sustainable business just for the year and going forward, I'm still offering to help you develop your business plans and set out how you're going to do something, when you're going to do it by, and what you need to learn or what you need to help you to get there. And I'm still offering that for just £350 this year, but I can only offer that into the room for that price, and it's got to be on a limited time. And I think that's, oh no, just to say, yeah, and it's not a novel that I'll be doing with you, it's a live document, so you will have to review it every month or even sooner if it means so, and I'll keep you accountable to it, so you won't be on your own. But that's it as well, yeah. Making a plan doesn't mean it's going to come true. As I said, I was going to get that car, wasn't I? But I didn't. But you've got much more. If you plan that you're going to earn £500,000 this year, you've got more likelihood of earning it than if you only plan that you're going to earn £5,000. Then you're definitely only going to earn £5,000. So, if you want any more information, come and have a one-to-one with me. That's it. Thank you.